Your success in life depends 100% on your ability to influence others. Everything in life is just humans, human relations. And if you want to make change happen, if you want to have power in the world, you have to learn how to influence people. And one of the key variables of whether you can influence someone or not is authenticity. A lot of people don't think about authenticity a whole lot. But in reality, your ability to sense whether someone is authentic or not is 100 times stronger than sensing other powerful emotions like love or hate or envy or any of those things. Why do you think that you can watch bad actors and know that they're acting bad, even though you've never acted before? It's because you have this receptor that whenever you see people, you can tell whether they're being authentic or not. And whenever you're wanting to influence people, especially when you're trying to go viral with content or ads or anything business-wise, you have to resonate with them. So it's kind of like changing the frequency on the radio. Like you hear noise, you hear nothing, you find that exact channel, and all of a sudden, boom, it resonates, and the music is clear, and you get sound. Like if you want to resonate with all the people who are watching you, you have to have authenticity. Like that's how you resonate and actually get your point across, actually create change in their lives. And so what I'm trying to do with these videos is I'm trying to practice being authentic with you guys, showing you my true self. Now, the problem with being authentic that you've probably ran into is that your authentic self sucks. If you were to be yourself, if you were to follow the cliche advice of, oh, just be yourself. The problem is, bro, yourself right now sucks. Or else you'd be making money. You'd be influencing people. And so when people say, oh, just be yourself, they're missing the whole other side of the equation. You have to become someone who is, whenever they show their authentic self, it actually creates change. It creates power. So I want to talk about the authenticity staircase. This is something that I've noticed in my life that if you would just understand, dude, your progress would like 10x, 100x, because this is how it works. So in order to resonate with humans, we have to be authentic. So you have to be really honest about what you're doing. You have to be open about it. You have to be being yourself. But the issue is yourself sucks. So you have to level up yourself by being inauthentic until your authentic self is that higher level. So let me explain real quick. I know this sounds a little bit complicated. I've been thinking about this for a while, but it's really, really powerful. So let's say we start here. Let's say I wanted to do, we'll just do YouTube. So what I've been doing for a while is YouTube. So when I first started YouTube, I started learning, okay, what do I have to do to actually succeed on YouTube? Let's just take titles, for example. So I wanted to do YouTube titles. When I first started, I was being myself. I would title things just goofy. It would say how to make money or something like that. I was just being myself. I would title things raw upload from whatever date. Just super authentic. Super authentic thumbnails as well. I would just take a screenshot of whatever the video was and just post it. Now, down here, I was getting like no views. I would get 10 views because my authentic self sucked. And so what I would try to do is I started learning, how do I title things? How do I actually get people to click on my stuff? So I would look at Mr. Beast. I would look at his thumbnails. They have the crazy faces and all this stuff. I would go look at every single video I could find that would go viral, and I would look at the titles and look at the thumbnails. Well, so what this led me to do was I started being pretty inauthentic. We'll just say 10 views right here. So here was, I started YouTube. I was getting 10 views a video, which is literally just my family. Okay, so terrible. I started to be inauthentic. Basically, I started trying to level up and copy what other people were doing. So I started doing crazy thumbnails. I would have a crazy face. The videos would have editing in them that was super edited. And the issue was that was inauthentic, so it also got 10 views. So even though I was learning how to do viral formatting and figure out titles, I was still getting 10 views. Because even though I had leveled up, now all the authenticity was gone. So it's like when you're learning something, you have authenticity here and your knowledge here. And so whenever you're learning something new, you're increasing your knowledge, but your authenticity is going down like this. So you end up staying the same. So even though I had learned new concepts that were more powerful to how to actually get views, because of my authenticity went down, because that wasn't me, I still got 10 views. So it didn't improve. And so then you start thinking, well, this stuff doesn't work. Changing titles doesn't work. Viral titles, this stuff doesn't work. All these things people are telling me is false. It doesn't work. But here's where things get juicy. So when I started to understand, okay, I actually have to look into my titles and thumbnails, like those things are important. I did that. I learned that knowledge, but I was still inauthentic. And so I kept failing until once in a while I was like, you know what, screw this. I'm just going to go back to doing things how I was doing them. So I started to make authentic videos again. But this time, they were getting 100 views. And I was like, heck yeah. Why? Because my knowledge did not go down, but my authenticity came back up. I was starting to be authentic again. But now I was being authentic as a new person who has this new knowledge. You see how crazy this is? So now my authentic self included this new knowledge. So I was back to baseline. So now that I had the new knowledge of using good titles and I was being authentic, I now got 100 views. And so this happened again with editing. So I started learning how to edit. And I was trying to do all these crazy fast pace, over the top, hyper edits. And guess what? It was not very authentic. And my videos still got 100 views. Why? Because as I increased knowledge, my authenticity still went down. So I was still getting 100 now. So although my knowledge had increased substantially and my authenticity had went away, I was still getting 100 because I'd gained that much more knowledge. It was building on the knowledge I already had. So this part of me, this knowledge was authentic because it had become myself now. But this part, I lost all that authenticity, and so I was still staying at 100. So this happened for another 4 months. I tried to hire a bunch of editors. I had an editing team. It was terrible. It was super inauthentic. I was trying to force all the content. And yeah, I stayed at 100 views. And eventually I just gave up. And so I quit. So I got rid of this. So I was, you know what? I'm going to go back to doing just authentic videos. But I used that editing to do like these videos where I was doing like Photoshop. And I would just Photoshop different slides. And I would click through the slides. So now I kept this knowledge and I was being authentic again. And now I started getting a couple hundred views, like 300 to 1,000 views on these videos. Because what I was doing, you can go back on my main channel and look at this, it's crazy, is now I started using this knowledge combined with just being my authentic self. And I'd absorbed that knowledge. I was using titles, I was doing better thumbnails now, and then I was using editing, but instead of just over editing, I would just do what I thought was cool. My authentic self. I would draw stick figures and I would do things in Miro. I was just having fun. And because I was being authentic, now I got up to 1,000 views when my authenticity returned. And so this is how you level up, guys, is you have to force yourself to grow, to do things that are not part of yourself right now, but then over time, that will become yourself. And so as I'm recording this video, speaking well is not part of my authentic self. I'm learning it. So you can tell half these videos sound pretty forced. Like I'm really trying to speak well. I'm trying not to make mistakes. And so because of that, I'm not being 100% authentic as if I was just sitting down, smoking a cigar, talking to my friends. So I'm forcing it right now. So my authenticity is lower than I want it to be. But because I'm forcing myself to do these videos, over time, it will get to the point where this is just part of me. Good speaking is a part of me. And speaking well is me being authentic. And then what's going to happen is these videos are going to start to resonate with you guys who are watching them. Some of you it's already resonating with, which I love. So I appreciate it a ton, bro, because we're really similar. But right now, these videos are only getting around 1,000 views, 1,000 to 2,000 from these videos. And that is because they suck. They only deserve 1,000 views. If you're making YouTube videos, or honestly, this goes for anything in life, your results are what you deserve. So if I'm getting 1,000 views, I don't sit here and say, oh, I deserve 10,000. Why aren't people liking my videos? No, my videos suck. And they only deserve 1,000 views. And there is something I'm missing to get up to this 10K mark. There's something I'm missing. And so you see me doing these new style videos is because I'm trying to push myself to grow. I'm trying to learn how to speak. I'm trying to learn how to teach in a way that's fun for me, that's authentic, but it still gets the message across. So me bringing on this whiteboard is also part of me trying to be authentic, because I love teaching with visuals and diagrams. I love it. And I think this adds visual appeal more than just editing. Like this enables me to teach authentically without having to use editing or use the software. And I will be doing editing. I'm going to try all kinds of stuff. But it's all about authenticity. But the problem is yourself right now sucks. So if you just be yourself, you're not going to get anywhere. So you have to force yourself to learn new things. It's going to feel really inauthentic. But over time, you will absorb that knowledge. It'll become a part of you, a part of your identity. And then you will have authenticity again, which actually allows you to resonate with people. And I see this with my coaching guys all the time. Is they hop on these sales calls and they've been taking all the sales training we've been giving them, and they've been booking calls through the systems, and they feel kind of this imposter syndrome. The problem is they feel inauthentic. But over time, they start to realize that now they just absorb all this knowledge and it's a part of them. And so they make titles and thumbnails easily. They write hooks easily. Everything is just easy and it's part of them. And they can actually do the tactics, but instead of them just being dry tactics that don't have any sustenance, they have authenticity with the tactics and they crush. And so this is how you do it, guys. But just know that if you're not getting results from implementing some new thing that you think should have gotten you results, like you look at editing on YouTube and you're like, oh man, I should be editing. Everyone edits. And you get no results. This is why. It's not part of you. You're not letting your authenticity shine through that editing yet. But if you keep doing it enough and keep trying and trying and trying, then you go back to like, you know what, screw this. I'm just going to be myself. I'm going to be authentic. You'll find that editing stuck with you. And now you're using it in your authentic way. And so yeah, this is the authenticity staircase. This is this concept I've been thinking about for a while now. Hopefully this, guys, helps you shed some light on reality, on how reality works and how your journey works. And this is how you do it. So yeah, hopefully this helps. Leave a comment if you learned something. I'll see you next video.